Hey friend, let's discuss this fun bunch, phrasal verbs. They might not seem like much initially, but they add an extra punch to our language by combining a verb with one or more particles, such as prepositions or adverbs. And you must have used them at some point without even realizing it. These grammar units create new meanings that cannot be easily guessed from the individual words that make them up. Some common examples are run into and give up. Let's see how they communicate meaning in sentences, shall we? Sade ran into an old friend at the mall. Ran into is a phrasal verb meaning to encounter someone unexpectedly. The doctor asked him to give up smoking last year. The phrasal verb give up means to quit or cease efforts or activities. Now, it's your turn to identify the phrasal verbs in these sentences. Take it a step further by explaining their meanings within the sentences as well. Namdi had been putting off studying all week. The committee had to call off the picnic due to rain. Jemima needs to get over her fear of public speaking. In the first sentence, the phrasal verb put off means to postpone. In the second sentence, to call off means to cancel. And in the third sentence, to get over something means to recover from an emotional or physical setback. As you must have noticed, phrasal verbs can change in form when used in different tenses. A good example is, I often look up information on stocks on the market. In the present or future tenses, the particle usually follows the verb. However, if this same sentence were in the past tense, the particle would either follow the verb or separate from it. The sentence can be composed as, I looked up information on the stock market, or I looked some information up on the stock market. When using phrasal verbs, there are some cases where the verb and particle can be separated in a sentence. Separable phrasal verbs can have the object in the middle of the verb and the particle. Inseparable phrasal verbs must keep the object after the verb and the particle. Take a look at this example. Jemima looked after the children. You cannot separate the phrasal verb by saying Jemima looked the children after. It would disrupt the meaning of the sentence. The particles used in a phrasal verb, including the verb, can change depending on the tense. From this example, can you tell the changes that will occur with the phrasal verb look forward to in the tenses listed? In the present tense, the phrasal verb will remain look forward to. In the past tense, it becomes looked forward to. And in the future tense, we will add the auxiliary will before the phrasal look forward to. Well done, friend. Now look at these phrasal verbs. Can you tell those that are separable and those that are not? Pause the lesson here to give yourself more time. It's advisable to make sentences with them as well. That way, you can really tell if they're separable or not. The phrasal verb pick up can be separated, while the phrasal verb still holds the meaning of putting something together. However, the same is not the case for put up with, as separating them will disrupt the meaning of the phrasal verb. Well done, my friend. It is generally advisable to keep phrasal verbs together in formal writing, but it is perfectly acceptable to separate them in informal writing and speech. We've learned how to recognize phrasal verbs in sentences, use them in context, and distinguish between separable and inseparable phrasal verbs. Don't forget to practice using them in your conversations and writing to improve your language skills. See you!